Hey everybody, this is John, and I'm back again one more time to do another very simple lake fly for trout. This one is known as the IOBO Humpy, and the IOBO stands for it oughta be outlawed. That's how effective this fly is, and it's super simple to tie. I just wanted to run through this here real quick. First, I'm going to start with a 102Y Tiemco hook, and this is a size 15. This is a fairly light wire hook, but it is super duper strong, and I like the black finish because it's kind of stealthy. The thread I'm using is a gray-brown 70 denier UTC thread. I just started it back about 2 hook eye lengths from behind the eye and get it started really solidly, and then bring it up to about 1 hook eye length behind the eye. Now the entire body, the back, the wing, everything is one single CDC feather, and I like these natural colored ones. This one here is a natural mallard. It's kind of a gray-brown. It's just a great feather to use for this fly. And the original video that I saw to tie this a while back, it's actually been about a year or so ago, suggested that you strip the bottom of the stem. Well, I don't like how slender and slim the front is, and I've started tying them without stripping that stem. So what you want to do is you want to find a feather for this size 15 that's just a little over 1.5 inches long from the tip to where the butt is, right here where there are no more fibers. And this will be the perfect length for what we're going to do. And you want to make sure the stem on this, the rachis, is kind of flexible. So check it before you put it on there. If you bend it like that and it cracks, it's not going to work. But this one kind of flexes, so it's going to work out just perfectly. And I'm just going to take and stroke all those fibers back, and I'm going to catch this in with one wrap, kind of like you would a bead chain eye or a dumbbell eye. Catch it in one wrap right there, and then I'm going to come over with the second one. And when I come around with the third, I'm going to go in front of the butt of that feather. And now I've kind of made a figure 8 around it, and it's locked in place. And I'm just going to go 2 more wraps going that direction. And if I can get it to work, fold that butt of that stem up just a little bit, just enough so that it will go up along the hook shank. And then this one is just the right length. I don't trim it until it gets right at the hook bend, and that's where that one stopped, so we're good there. Now this is another thing that's different about the video that I saw to tie this. The tyer suggested you go ahead and clip your hackle pliers onto the feather, but I found that I got a lot more breakage doing it that way. The best way that I found to do it is to just gently put your finger right down on top of that stem and wrap it. And then as it comes around, come back with your thumbnail. And you're not putting a ton of pressure on it. You're just wrapping it just enough to coax it and get it to fold right around that hook shank. And as you come around on your second full wrap, that's when I like to get it with my hackle pliers. And I like these short rotary hackle pliers like this. Just clip that on there, and be sure you get the stem. If you don't get the stem, if you just get the fibers, you're going to end up pulling that off of the feather. And then take and stroke these back the best you can, all those loose fibers. Come around, and then on every wrap, just kind of wrap your fingers around it, stroke everything back, hold it back until you get back to where your thread is hanging, and you should have about 1.5 to 2 times the length of the hook shank of feather length left. Now, by stroking back all those barbs as we work, we've created a little brush-like tail on there. And that's what we're going to use to fold over to make half of the wing. Now, holding that hackle plier back and the tip of the feather back, I'm just going to catch that in with one really, really tight thread wrap. And then I'm going to let that go. Again, stroke everything back that I can get. Come around, and then on that second wrap, start spiraling forward and just kind of spiral wrap that with about 4 wraps of thread. Now, I like to do this in 2 stages. I've found that it holds a lot better. It's a lot more secure. Try not to pull too hard on this tip section of the feather as you fold it forward. You can snap it like you would if you were snapping off the end of a hackle. So be careful with that. Just don't get too rambunctious. Fold it forward nice and gently. Take 1 wrap over the top, pull it back, take 1 wrap between the eye and the feather, and you're also going to be able to judge if you've got enough room to finish that fly off later, and then drop 1 more wrap over the top of that feather tip. Now we're going to take all of these loose barbs back here, fold them over, and use both hands to coax them over if you need to. Get them in place, and the shorter barbs are going to spring back on you. Don't worry about those, we're going to trim them. And I'm just going to get 2 wraps there over everything. I'm going to go in front, behind, and in front. Then I'm just going to take my little half-hitch tool. I'm going to give it a single half-hitch just to get everything secured. Then I'm going to give it 3 wraps. I'm going to do that twice. Just 2 3-wrap half-hitches. And trim that off. If you can't pull those off, go ahead and trim them. And there you have the IOBO Humpy fly. It is so deadly on lakes when midges and even calabatus are emerging that it ought to be outlawed. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Tie up a few of these. Hope they catch you some trout. And until next time, peace, love, and fly fishing, my friends.